Well, welcome to the Year of Popularity review, and congratulations for finishing book number 3. I'm very proud of you. You're halfway through the program, and this is where many students drop. So please don't be one of them. This video will help you in the review of in preparation for exam number 3. So what you have done is a great accomplishment. The best way to review for your exam is by going over the questions and the tests that you already have submitted. So make sure to go over test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 10. Make sure you review them from book 3 and you have the right answers. In this video, I want to give you a little bit more of an opportunity to review some of the material from a different, with a different medium. So some of you may be better listeners than reading or going over the test. So this is what I want to accomplish. So please watch the full video. Make sure you like it and make sure you leave a comment so that if you have a different question that you want to post, you can put that in the comment. Make sure that if you watch this video, please like it and please leave a comment. That way I know who watched it. Okay, thank you. So we're gonna start with this. This is I want you to be aware of the province of Galilee. And we're talking about with the year of popularity, which is this, the book is based on that, this third book. And we want to make sure that you know Galilee very well. Galilee was a very small province and measure about 60 miles, and it's about 30 miles wide. But because it's a very fertile area, this province was very densely populated. So there's a lot of people live in Galilee. Then it has the Sea of Galilee or the Lake of Galilee in the middle. Capernaum was a city that was very popular, and a lot of people went there to do trade. So in Galilee, there are many villages, there's largest towns, there's military roads, and the ancient trade routes, they crisscross the province, so you can see it in this map. Also, we know that it was the hub for the activity of the valley, and on the seashores, on the hillsides around the Sea of Galilee, there were fields, there were abundant crops, fig trees. So all of this, we can see it through the even in the year of popularity, when Jesus speaking in his about his parables, he's using everything that's around him, right? So one of the things that we need to understand too about Galilee is that there's very interesting facts about two particular tribes of Israel whose territory was in the province of Galilee before, right? So make sure that you name these two tribes. Who were these two tribes that were that inhabited where Galilee is now? So now you make sure you name those two tribes from whose the territory province of Galilee was formed. And also remember that the prophet Isaiah was also, he also used the term Galilee of the Gentiles. Why? Right? Make sure you know why. He used it because during his times there was, it was under, this region was under the territory of the Assyrians. So the Assyrians were Gentiles. So that's why Isaiah says Galilee of the Gentiles, right? Now, the best way, other than studying your test, to study for this exam is by studying the supplements and memorizing them. So that's what I want to do. I want you to look at the supplements. So let's look at supplement number 1. And you'll find contents in this book they're very condensed in these supplements, but they will help you. So please invest time in going over them. For instance, in supplement 1, you can find that the ministry of Jesus in Galilee was based out of Capernaum, right? And sorry about that. Let's see if I can go back. Okay. Well, I'm going to go back to supplement 1 later on. But you'll see in supplement 1 that the ministry of Jesus was based out of Capernaum. You will find uh, other information available for you there. So make sure that you are able to identify that. Also, in supplement 2, you are able to identify the symbols that Jesus used to explain the importance of the responsibility of the believer to evangelize the world. Make sure that you are able to identify that. In the Beatitudes, the word that is constantly repeated is blessed, right? Blessed are the meek, blessed are the poor. So what does this word mean in everyday English? What does blessed mean in everyday English? And in what way are we to fulfill the law according to Jesus' teaching in the Sermon on the Mount? In the Sermon on the Mount, also we find out that there are 3 examples of hypocrisy. So according to this supplement 2, what are these 3 examples, right, of hypocrisy condemned by the edicts of sincerity? I also want you to make sure that you look at this supplement and you find where these different edicts take place in Matthew 5, 6, 7. Make sure that you're able to identify that. Then we want to look at the Lord's Prayer. There's 6 petitions in the Lord's Prayer. Name them. How many of them have to do with God and His glory? How many have to do with our deeds? Right? So there's 6 of them here. Speaking about prayer, there's also 4 types of prayer, right? If you go through the test, you find out that there's the prayers of petition, confession, worship, and thanksgiving. What does this mean? Also, lesson 4 mentions practical things to consider when you pray. What are these things that you must consider when you pray, right? When you look for, so make sure that you find out what these 2 things are. Next, I want you to look at the evidences of the kingdom in supplement 3. Jesus demonstrated His power as the Son of God over 5 areas, right? Which areas were this? Where Jesus showed His authority when He was performing miracles, right? Disease, nature, demons, sin. So give 2 of the things that a person with leprosy had to do according to Jewish law. So this is one of the things. Jesus came to demonstrate His power over demons, and a lot of the people that came to see Him was some of the people that we see Him deliver from demons. So what are the 2 things that before they were delivered that these people that had leprosy had to do according to Jewish law? With what gesture of compassion did Jesus show His authority over the terrible diseases and the law itself? And what are some apparent contradictions that we can see between the Gospels accounts and the healing of the demon-possessed man? So these are some of the things that we're also able to see from supplement 3. Right, Jesus healing the man with leprosy, the centurion, the servant, Jesus praying for Peter's mother-in-law. We see that He calms the storm. He heals the paralytic. So make sure you're able to identify this. Now, in supplement 4, we are able to make different distinctions about the disciples. So make sure to study for this. What are some of the distinctions? Did they have different names, like Peter's? Also, his name was Simon, right? Or Matthew and Levi. What were their professions? Which one of them, which pairs were brothers? So make sure that you study this. Make sure that you're able to name them. Like if I ask, name the 12 disciples or apostles, the 12 apostles, then you should be able to name every single one of them. And this supplement 4 will help you with those. So some of them were fishermen. Make sure you identify which one were fishermen. One of them was a tax collector. One of them was a revolutionary. who was the doubter, the traitor, which one came from Cana, who was things like that, right? So make sure that you know which one was the one that first called Jesus King. So also in this lesson, we also learn that there's 4 kinds of disciples. What are the 4 kinds of disciples? Can you identify them? And in the supplement 5, we see that we have details about the enemies of the kingdom. And one of these enemies of the kingdom was the religious leaders, or called the Pharisees. In what main areas did they disagree with Jesus? So if you look at the supplement and you see, they disagree on the Sabbath, on signs, on the view of Satan. So make sure that you see that you can identify the kind of opposition that Jesus faced. And you can see that in this supplement. Okay, and then you can look at the instruments of opposition. I wouldn't worry too much about the additional data, but at least about the kind of opposition, the references, and the instruments of opposition. Okay, and when we talked about in much of the ministry of Jesus, he did his teaching through using parables. And in the Year of Popularity, we see him speaking to multitudes. So he used simple stories to illustrate a moral or spiritual lesson. So what is the rule for interpreting parables? There is one rule. Make sure you know that one. What is the main rule? So, and also, what are the common themes in all of the parables of Matthew 13? Look at the parables of Matthew 13, and what's the common theme that they have? Make sure that you're able to identify that. And which parables represent a person who discovers the kingdom after a long search. So there's different parables. Make sure that you know what they represent. Okay? And then in our analysis of the Year of Popularity, I'm going back to the first supplement, which I wasn't able to talk about earlier. We have it's divided into 6 parts, the Year of Popularity, right? Make sure you identify the 6 parts. What's the title of each part, and what's the reference in Matthew? Make sure you have that. What are the 6 parts, and how is it divided in the book of Matthew? So if you look at this, just to give you a first example, we have, let's see, Matthew 8 and 9, we have evidences of the kingdom. So the title is the evidences of the kingdom, is Matthew 8 and 9, and then what's the theme? Miracles. So make sure you have that, right? So for each of these, make sure you give the title, the main theme, the chapters in which it was recorded in Matthew. Make sure you're able to identify the theme, again, the title, the chapters in Matthew. So basically, if the Year of Popularity, most of it is based out of Galilee, and Jesus was his home base was in Capernaum. Make sure that you understand the Sermon on the Mount, that you go over the Beatitudes. Do you understand the symbols that Jesus uses? What does those symbols mean? Like if I ask, like, what does salt and light mean? You're able to tell me what those symbols mean. And also, we want to make sure that you understand from the Sermon on the Mount what is the main teaching of Jesus, of how we're to fulfill the law. Is it that we're to fulfill the law as it is? We're supposed to fulfill the law with good disposition, meaning what I want? Or is it that we have to fulfill the law within us? Or that we not only have to fulfill the law, but the spirit of the law, right? So we need to be able to do that, identify the examples of hypocrisy that Jesus talks about, right? Especially when you pray, what are the examples of hypocrisy? So these are the main things, but big part of the exam is this right here. Make sure you're able to memorize that. Make sure you're able to name the apostles. Make sure you're able to identify what their profession was, maybe their names, if they're brothers, so things like that. And lastly, I want to make sure that that you review your corrected tests, that you are able to identify in lesson 10, I believe, the different I think lesson 10 talks about how to extend the kingdom and what are the 3 different ways. Your personal testimony, what are the main parts for your personal testimony, and then the next way is in extending by doing Bible studies. What are the 4 essential things, or the essential things that you need to have in place to have a good Bible study? And then in the last one is church planting. What are the steps that you should have in order to make sure that you have a successful church plant? Make sure you have those 3 things. What makes a good testimony? What makes a good Bible study? And what makes a successful church plant? So make sure you're able to do all of those. So I thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like it, you watch it again, see if you catch something different. Make sure you comment. If you have a question, just leave it on there. Maybe someone else is able to answer it. And please study the supplements. They're going to give you a lot of help. And the last part is study lesson number 10. Talk about the different things, 3 different things of how to extend the kingdom, right? Your personal testimony, Bible studies, and planting churches. Like, what are the main things that you need for each one of those? Okay, so study well. See you on Monday for the exam. God bless you. Make sure you leave that. I'm going to give you one of the questions that comes straight from the exam as a reward for watching this video all the way to the end. So here's one of the questions. Make sure if you didn't watch this video, you're not going to get this right. But here's the question. It will talk about it talks about scientific laws, right? So define scientific laws. The scientific laws describe natural things, natural happenings, but they cannot cause them. So what are some, if I talk about scientific laws, the laws of science, the one thing that I can say is that they can describe natural events, but they cannot cause them. So that's my gift to you. And then, well, let me give you another gift just for watching this video to the end. Why are miracles possible? Right? Then the answer will be that because science cannot limit the power of God. Right? So miracles are possible because science cannot limit the power of God. All right? Those are the 2 questions, 2 gifts I want to give you just for watching this video to the end. Like I said, make sure you comment, like it, watch it again, study well, study the tests, study the supplements. You will do great. God bless you. Hakuna Matata.